Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Carly, it's been kind of a long saga for the Friends of the Bobcats, but that looks like a positive new development for them.
Yes, very much so, and it's great because Malcolm Radke, who we will introduce you to in the story, is actually born and raised right here in Lloydminster, so he's very anxious and excited to get started working with the team.
Great, fantastic. Sounds like the right person for the job indeed, and the right person for the weather job is Gerard. And Gerard, what are we looking forward to?
Yes, thank you kindly. A build-up of cloud cover is what's probably later on, but no precipitation. It's been a nice day, basically. Some clouds around, but no rain to write home about. So 17 is what we're sitting at, down from 19 at 2 o'clock. 34% is that humidity. We've had some wind gusts. At the moment, it's coming out of the east anywhere from 26 to 37 kilometers an hour. And with those clouds, what we're looking as we compare across the region, some more sunshine in the Battlefords as well as in the Lakeland region. 19 is what you're looking at in the Lakeland region. And for the Battlefords, with the cloud and maybe some more sunshine, 20 degrees Celsius.
One person has died after a house fire in Glaslyn early this morning. Just before 1:30 a.m., RCMP responded to a fire on 3rd Street West. Authorities say a house trailer was fully engulfed in flames when they arrived, and the Glaslyn Volunteer Fire Department was on scene. The body of one man was found inside the home. Positive identification of the deceased has yet to be made and next of kin located and notified. Police say at this time the fire does not appear to be suspicious. The investigation into this matter continues. Teachers across the province of Saskatchewan were off the job for a second day today. Their job action comes after talks between the Teachers Federation and the government broke down last week. Both sides agree they need to get back to the table, but are still not even close to a new contract.
Do I feel valued? No. I love my students love me, but I don't feel valued as a teacher.
Lloydminster teachers spent Wednesday doing community service and also writing letters to the Education Minister. Today they marched across the city to deliver the letters to Lloydminster MLA Tim McMillan. The Teachers Federation feels the government's refusal to negotiate realistically necessitated this walkout.
It was clear from conciliation that the resources needed to finish a contract were not being brought to the table, and so we felt that we needed further action to get our message across. We were so far apart.
The Minister of Education feels that the Federation reps didn't fully explore the last offer, but also acknowledges there is possibly room for the government to move.
We do recognize that there's areas that we could probably go further, such as in our first couple of years for teachers, the end compensation for teachers.
One bone of contention is that Lloydminster teachers are paid considerably less than their Alberta counterparts.
I can honestly walk to or move to Kitscotty and make $1,000 more a month just being under the Alberta's Teacher Association.
But Harpower says the Alberta teachers contract was negotiated with the assumption that the economic boom at the time would continue. It didn't, and that contract has come back to haunt the province.
Very clearly in what's happening in Alberta with hundreds and hundreds of teachers being laid off because the mandate wasn't sustainable. We do not want to see that happen in Saskatchewan.
The Federation feels that their demands are fairly straightforward and hope that the government will re-enter negotiations soon.
Get back to the table and really conclude this contract. We want a contract. We want to be back in our classrooms. We want to be teaching. We don't want to be dealing with negotiations. We want a contract.
Harpower is concerned about the timing of the job actions being so close to final exams and hopes the two sides can sit down again immediately.
The teachers' union can be at the table even though they're conducting another day's strike. We need teachers and students back in the classroom ultimately, which will happen on Friday. We need the teachers' union back at the table.
No new talks have been scheduled yet, and the Federation announced today that as of May 30th, all members will withdraw voluntary services, continuing indefinitely.
Prairie North Health Region officials have released their new budget. After a tough year, the board was happy to approve the surplus numbers yesterday. And as Whitney Stinson reports, if all goes as planned, they'll be investing a good chunk of money right here in Lloydminster.
This year, the board has been struggling with a $5 million shortfall, but because of new investment from the province, there's been a shift in this year's numbers. The surplus is small, just over $12,000, but officials say it'll make all the difference.
We had to put together a budget that includes quite a few cost-cutting measures which had proven to be fairly unpopular. So this year we're glad to present a different kind of budget with significant reinvestment in healthcare.
The major new initiatives under these headings include improving access to primary care, cancer care, and ramping up their mental health services.
The immediate challenge for us and priority is to very much focus on the recruitment of new physicians into Lloydminster.
The capital management plan, separate from the operating budget, allows them to continue several ongoing projects. The Lloydminster Hospital renovation takes the top spot. They hope to be finished construction by this fall. With the expansion, they've budgeted for 33 new full-time positions in the region. They hope to implement the Saskatchewan Surgical Initiative.
A lot of them will be located in Lloydminster as well, because we're putting, again, a lot of new resources into increasing our surgical capacity in terms of doing more surgical cases at the Lloydminster Hospital.
In terms of new capital projects, there are 3 in their sights. The Dr. Cook Extended Care Centre replacement project has been on the back burner since 2007. Now, with renewed investment from Alberta Infrastructure, it's back on the table.
Site work is actually underway to prepare the ground for construction, which will likely happen fairly quickly.
He says construction will take about 18 months and the centre will be ready for commissioning by winter 2012. The budget now goes on to the Minister of Health for review and formal approval. Whitney Stinson, Newcap News.
Celiac disease is one of the most underdiagnosed conditions around. People can often go years before finding out that they are celiac because of the wide range of symptoms that come with the disease. Next week, the Lloydminster and Area Celiac Support Group, along with the Lloydminster Region Health Foundation, is bringing in medical professional Dr. Connie Switzer to host a presentation on the disease.
It's very important to the Health Foundation. It's part of our mandate that we help provide healthy communities for people. So we're very pleased to partner together with the Lloydminster and Area Celiac Support Group to bring Dr. Connie Switzer, and I think it's going to be a real blessing for the community.
Celiac disease occurs in about 1 in every 133 people and can be triggered at any age.
Celiac is an autoimmune intestinal disorder where the gluten that is found in wheat, rye, barley, and sometimes oats destroys the villi in the small intestine. Those are the little fingers where all the absorption of our good nutrients happens, and when they're worn down to numbs, you don't get that absorption.
Accurate information on the condition is often hard to come by, so event organizers encourage everyone to attend the presentation.
Celiac disease is one of Canada's most underdiagnosed conditions, and diagnosis rates are improving with increased awareness, so it is something that really is coming along.
The presentation will take place at Lakeland College on June 1st, and the doors will open at 6 p.m. One RBC employee said goodbye today to something she's been attached to for 3 years. The local branch raised funds for the Relay for Life, with one employee sacrificing her long locks. Lexi Dogan tells us why she was cutting for cancer.
It was an event 3 years in the making.
I can't even remember my last haircut, really. I've had it trimmed a couple times, but really the actual haircut has been too long. I don't even remember. Originally, it was just because I wanted to donate my hair just because it was so long. I knew I had enough of it, and just because I know of people that have cancer.
Robert Ferrick says growing her mane for 3 years was worth it because all the money raised will go to the Canadian Cancer Society, and all 12 inches of her hair will be donated as well.
I know a lot of clients have come in and say, oh, I can't wait to see what you're going to look like, and this is such a good cause, a way to go. So I've had lots of support from lots of clients, and that makes me feel good too.
One of Robert Ferrick's co-workers came up with the idea after her daughter had cut her locks for charity. The ladies put up posters, and soon enough, they had $1,400.
Totally a team effort, and within the whole branch staff too. We like to rally against for these causes, so it works out really well.
The Relay for Life is this weekend with Lloydminster residents walking round the clock in Bud Miller Park for the Canadian Cancer Society. Lexi Dogan, Newcap News.
The Lloydminster Archives does a great job of keeping memories of the region alive, and now they're taking their show onto the internet. That story and more after the break.